Hello and welcome to round 14 of Grand Prix San Diego. We've got John Stern on the the right-hand side of your screen, facing off against Sammy Tokeman on the left-hand side of your screen. I'm Ben Swartz, joined here in the booth by Brian David Marshall.
Hey, Ben.
How's it going?
Good. So you said Sammy Tookman's playing
blue, red, white control.
Like kind of like just Flash, like Restoration Angels and Sphinx's Revelations.
Yeah.
And we know John Stern is playing robots.
Yes. Yeah, we saw him earlier today. Forget who he was playing against, but he won that match. And both these players are sitting on one loss, right?
It's really hard for you to try to
both on 33 points.
So really, this is a top 8 winning in match.
Yes.
You can have 5% of the difference of whatever works if you get screwed.
And John comes out of the gates, like you do, with a Mem Knight and a Vault Scourge.
Yeah, he could have had a Mox Opal there and, gone a little deeper, but this will do just fine.
That's the line that you have to really tiptoe around. So I've spent
And looks like Sammy is just holding back on Mana Leak and Spell Snare.
And assuming these guys have been playing near each other, I mean, he knows his opponent's blue-white. He knows
Sure.
that there's Supreme Verdicts. He probably doesn't want to dump 10 cards onto the table.
Well, John's going to get in for 2 here, dropping Sammy down to 18. He's going to go up to 21 because of the lifelink of the Vault Scourge, and then cast a Arcbound Ravager post-combat, which will get Spell Snared. So, we haven't seen any of the blue-white-red deck on camera this weekend, right?
And it's so funny. Do you remember when Spell Snare was such such a staple card of that modern new extended kind of metagame? Metagame. Spell Snare. And it just really the control decks have just not seen a lot of them.
Yeah, and that partially has to do with some of the aggressive decks. The mid-range decks are quite popular, and there's very few combo decks, right? Which is what the control decks used to prey upon, right?
Yeah.
So, and the combo decks that are popular now, like eggs, the mid-range decks are equipped to handle.
Right. There we see an Electrolyze in Sammy Tookman's hands, which is going to be an instant speed cantrip Wrath right now.
Yeah. My assumption is that he's just going to take 2 and then see what John plays, because he's got that Mana Leak in his hand. And Snapcaster Spell Snare, so just in case something else comes down. Or if John activates the Inkmoth Nexus.
He activates the Inkmoth Nexus. Jeez.
Nope, just attacking with the same 2 creatures. 2 damage isn't that much, so Sammy falls to 15.
And he also knows that he's got a Sphinx's Revelation in his hand, should this game go long.
So here's Steel Overseer. Do you flash Snapcaster into Spell Snare? Oh, he just lets it resolve.
Yep.
I guess he's just going to Electrolyze it in a turn. Or in response to Thoughtcast. That makes more sense. Yeah, so now Thoughtcast resolves. 2 more cards for John.
Wait, John, what's the exact wording on Glimmervoid?
Glimmervoid says at the end of each turn, if you control no artifacts, sacrifice it.
But he's still got the Darksteel Citadel.
Yeah. You're saying he could
Well, he could have Spell Snared the Overseer and then untapped it, Electrolyze, but.
Yeah, but I mean that plan was thwarted by the Ornithopter and the Darksteel Citadel. Okay. So Sammy, content passing all of his mana up. Springleaf Drum comes down for John, and then another Thoughtcast. Springleaf Drum important here to give the 4 artifacts for affinity. So the Thoughtcast only costs a single blue mana.
Thinking about Mana Leak in that?
I mean, I don't quite understand this. What do you think about this play?
I mean, he's just worried. I think he's just worried about, you know, he's about getting some critical mass of his cards. And, you know, there's so many cards he's not going to be able to mana leak. So many Ornithopters and just...
But those are the important cards. Like, the important cards are Cranial Plating, Master of Ethereum, Arcbound Ravager,
sure.
right? Well, John's going to activate his Inkmoth Nexus here. And attack in for 1 and 1 poison.
John's on 3 lands, so Tech Edge is not a threat to that Nexus.
Yeah. And I mean, if John had a land, he probably wouldn't play it. Just to not turn that Tech Edge on. So again, you know, draw go for Sammy. John here trying to figure out what his next move is. Well, Blinkmoth Nexus.
Yes, he's got one of each now.
Yeah, but the more powerful one is the Inkmoth Nexus.
He just needs a Millstone and he can go for the trifecta.
Triple Crown.
Yeah. Listen, in New York we call it the trifecta.
I'm sorry. I'm not from New York. Yeah, so Sammy's got a Path to Exile and Snapcaster Mage, so he's deciding whether or not he wants to Path to Exile it, or if he wants to flash back his Electrolyze to kill both the Mend Knight and the Inkmoth Nexus.
I say go with the Electrolyze.
But if he Electrolyzes, then he can use the Blinkmoth Nexus on the Inkmoth Nexus, which is what he did to give it +1/+1. So in response, Sammy's going to Snapcaster, Electrolyze, and take out Mem Knight and Inkmoth Nexus. That interaction between Blinkmoth Nexus and Inkmoth Nexus is kind of cute. Blinkmoth Nexus says 1 and tap, give target Nexus +1/+1 until end of turn.
Super Series Standard, pairings are up. Please find your seats.
And there we see a Cryptic Command in hand.
Yeah.
So people when I was talking about Modern on Twitter today, people were really lamenting that there was no good Cryptic Command deck.
Scape Shift.
Well, and that was their complaint. They're like that the only Cryptic Command deck was Scape Shift. But, you know, we see it here. We saw it in Shota Yasuoka's Eternal Command deck from the Players' Championship.
Yeah.
And we haven't really seen a lot of control decks running that card.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of deck that only Shota could play.
But you love that deck.
Yeah, it was a sweet deck. For the Players' Championship, I stayed at work, ran out to get some food, came back into work. The whole office was gone just to watch the entire thing. I stayed there until 8 o'clock.
That's awesome.
Please meet by the pillar.
Sitting alone, you know, watching some Magic.
All right, there's the Cranial Plating.
And John plays a 4th land, so.
And we're going to Cryptic Command.
Okay.
Draw a card.
So Sammy's looking to set up large Sphinx's Revolution on the following turn, right? For 4 or 5.
And here comes the Blinkmoth Nexus, and that's just damage. He's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
1 poison, 13 life. So Sammy draws Think Twice, and he's going to play Mountain Go after attacking with his Snapcaster Mage.
He's set to draw 4 cards here.
Yeah, I mean...
Super Standard Players!
He could draw 4 cards, or he can cast Think Twice and flash it back.
At
Draw 2 cards. I don't know which is better.
Good luck, you may begin.
How much life do you gain off of Think Twice?
None.
Oh. An interesting case.
Well, Blinkmoth Nexus activates.
Not after.
And just doesn't do anything. Maybe I missed something.
Obviously, people play.
I mean, John's like not in a great place. 1 card in hand, pretty much nothing on the board, and then a Sphinx's Revelation for 4 on the other side of the table. Another Path to Exile drawn for Sammy.
And another Sphinx's Revelation.
That's the great thing about Sphinx's Revelation is, you know, you cast 1, you get another. It's like buy 1, get 1 free.
Kind of like Avarax. Every time you cast 1, you get another one.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think that very few people watching this know what Avarax does.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Google.
Yeah.
Not a modern legal card.
No, not a modern legal card. It's from Onslaught, right?
Yeah. A big player at Pro Tour Venice.
Yeah.
And then we, so John Stern, Thought Casts, Mem Knights, Steel Overseers.
Mounting an offense, unless there's a...
Unless they're all going to just die.
Yeah, it's a Wrath of God, which almost definitely is going to happen. This is one of the reasons I can't get behind this new robots deck, you know, like... It just feels like your insane draw is never really that insane, and then your bad draws are just like embarrassingly bad, where all you're sitting there with is a bunch of 1 power guys.
That's the I've got a Wrath attack.
Yeah.
Like,
They'll put you higher in standings.
Sammy might not even care. He's got Celestial Colonnades. He's
ton of cards in hand.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think he's got 9 cards in hand.
An actual Wrath of God.
Yeah. I don't know what Supreme Verdict does, so.
Which you just don't want to do it. It just does the same scenario.
Well, no one's running Cryptic Command, so you know you can just. What are they going to do? Counter it?
And a Johnny Vengeance. That'll keep the Blink Moth Nexus tapped down. And John's seen enough. He'll scoop it up, and Sammy Tokeman wins the first game here of round 14. So there you get a look at the feature match area. It's pretty crowded. A lot of people watching as we get to the final Swiss rounds of Grand Prix San Diego.
Melissa DeToro playing against that's I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to see. I know that the other feature match includes Eric Froelich, I think, and one other person. I want to say maybe Sharfman. It's tough. It's tough to see these guys, and but yeah, it was actually an interesting game to see.
A good case for
control
the blue-white-red deck.
Maybe, you know, the opposite for the robots deck.
Yeah. It certainly looked good. A little glimpse of Sammy Tokeman wearing looks like a throwback San Diego Padres hat.
We're like blocks away from Petco Field.
Oh, yeah. My room looks right out over the field. John Stern wearing his Canadian flag on his sleeve. Coming off a top 25 finish at Pro Tour Gate Crash.
Yeah, and he won a Grand Prix like in the last 4 months, right?
Yeah. So he's doing well.
Yeah. There's that great video of him and Alexander Hayne in the Walking the Plains from the Pro Tour, where him and Alexander Hayne, Tsuchi and Kuo were all testing in Montreal, and all they ate was frozen pizza.
So I just want to make sure.
It's the gamer's life.
You know they deliver pizza to your house, right? You know, anywhere in the world, you don't actually have to eat frozen pizza. You don't even need to dial a phone. You can actually just, like, while you're on the computer playing Magic Online, while you're waiting for those other slowpokes in the queue to finish, you can just order pizza.
Yeah?
And it's going to be better than that frozen pizza.
Yeah, but I don't understand your point.
Frozen pizza makes me sad.
It's really bad, yeah. I'm not a big fan. But maybe they're trying to, live on a budget.
Sure. Sure.
I don't think that's a reasonable excuse either.
Win a Pro Tour, order frozen pizza.
Yeah, see, when they win the Pro Tour, then they can order in from Domino's,
No, also, don't do that. Just find a pizzeria. Find some guy who actually makes the pizza. And just order from them.
We can't all be from New York, Brian.
I mean, what about from Chicago?
Yeah, well, this is Montreal.
There's pizza. Actually, in Montreal, the pizza was fantastic. Fantastic pizza in Montreal.
I'm sure we're going to get some big outlash on Twitter.
About what? About frozen pizza?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Jerry T is secretly listening in. He's like,
frozen pizza.
DiGiorno got me through my early 20s.
There's like, yeah. I mean, there's like, there's like a Kashi frozen pizza that's not awful. But that's about it.
The fact that you're so, invested in...
I mean, I like, I just want people to eat good pizza. Like, pizza's not good for you, right? Like, there's no way around it. It's pretty bad for you. If you're going to eat it, at least eat something that's, transcendent. Not corrugated.
I like cardboard, though. It's got a lot of fiber.
Yeah.
I searched, he fetched, he played 2 and then fetched.
Didn't you pay 2 for that last land?
These guys are
Correct.
doing a lot of shuffling.
Yeah.
No, I did not. I'm at 17.
That's an understatement.
This is like an Ayanaga-esque level of shuffling.
Turn 1.
Crack, pay 2.
Well, maybe they're mulliganing. Yanaga is like...
Oh, I thought I saw the
I know how you feel about Yanaga. We're going to get a quick look at Ward-Froelich versus Dan Ward. Eric's on the right, just cast a Dark Confidant.
Into Liliana the Veil, which has clearly made him sacrifice a Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah. So it looks like Dan's on the very, very popular Junk deck.
That is a beautiful Dark Confidant. We're going to get a look at his hand.
Yeah, Inquisition sees Tarmogoyf, Lightning Bolt, Abrupt Decay, and then 2 Johnny Vengeance that can't be gotten. So if you're Dan, you probably
take Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. Depends what's in your hand.
I can't see. Yeah, we can't see his hand. We just watched Dan Ward beat up on Godenis Vidugaris.
Yeah. That gave Godenis his 3rd loss?
Yeah. So he does take the Lightning Bolt.
Okay.
Clearly has some ways to deal with the Tarmogoyf.
And then +1s, Liliana. Discarding Path to Exile, a Johnny V. Goes down for Eric, and then Abrupt Decay takes out Dark Confidant.
Good turn for Dan.
Yeah. But the Abrupt Decay from Eric takes out Liliana the Veil. And Kitchen Finks comes down for Dan Ward.
But that's going to be held at bay by a Tarmogoyf, which is, close to maxed out.
So I don't know why Dan took the Lightning Bolt there. Because he wanted Eric to use his Abrupt Decay on the Liliana instead of Lightning Bolt? Not sure. I think we're heading back to the John Stern match. John Stern versus Sammy Tokeman. And there we go. John started things off with a Welding Jar along with an Inkmoth Nexus.
I'll show you this Welding Jar. Welding Jar is always such a weird card to me in this match.
And John attempts to get in there with an Inkmoth Nexus. Looks like Sammy might have something to say about it. Maybe in the form of a Lightning Bolt.
Possibly a Path.
That seems a little... Oh. A Lightning Bolt is just getting rid of the Welding Jar.
No, it's going to be...
But is that even good? Like,
I don't know. I don't know how many basic lands John's playing, if any.
played quite a few, right? All the artifact lands are banned, so... Except for Darksteel Citadel. So he's...
I think they should just unban Tree of Tales. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, they should probably also just unban Mox Emerald and Legacy.
Yeah.
Players in draft number 10.
And Mox Pearl.
Jacobs,
What could go wrong?
Mickey Waka and
Nothing.
Ellen Olson. Your draft is ready. Please head over
So
to
John
the
Stern's
post
got some next going on there.
Andrew Jacobs,
And another welding jar
Mickey Waka
and
Ellen Olson.
an
Please head
etched
to the
champion.
stage.
Sammy really needs to have a counterspell for that Edge Champion. It's going to be a little trouble for him unless he's got Wrath of God or Supreme Verdict or something of that sort. Sammy taking things a little slow here. Fetches up a Held Fountain in a turn. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has a counterspell. Mana Leak. He's got a Spell Snare and Cryptic, but neither of those things he can use on the Etched Champion.
So the Etched Champion does not have Metalcraft from this point on, you know, thanks to the next side. Oh, and there's a Memnite.
Well, it has Metalcraft, had Metalcraft anyway because the Welding Jar.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep saying the Citadel is another Nexus.
And now, Thought Cast for John Stern. And he's going to get in there with the normal Nexus. The Blinkmoth Nexus. Kraken for 3. So Sammy's plan this game is to... Well, oh, he's got a Johnny Vengeant? Okay. I was going to say, buy a little time, sweep the board, and then clean up, do some cleanup work afterwards, right? Like you did last game. So, in response to John's attack, Sammy cracks his Arid Mesa. Looking for some land. Yep, Held Found untap, dropping him down to 13.
The final call.
Oh, we're gonna see another
draft
Electrolyze
number
here?
6 players and Jacobs. And
I didn't see an Electrolyze in his hand.
Wish
It looks like
draft
Snapcaster
day,
Mason and a
head to
Lightning
the
Bolt.
side event stage. This is a last call for draft
On
number
the
6.
Blinkmoth
Andrew
Nexus?
Jacobs and Alan Olson.
Seems interesting. Yeah, Lightning Bolt on the Blinkmoth Nexus. Is John going to save it with the Welding Jar? I can't imagine, right?
Yeah, I think he's probably fine to just let that go.
Oh, yeah. Well, you drew after that, so I know when you have
Yeah. And still Metalcraft on the Etched Champion, so it can't get blocked by the Snapcaster Mage. And Sammy falls to 11.
We got that done.
2-1. I gotta win next time.
So we make it.
Man, that's my fucking that's my Yeah, I think if the limit is really dumb, he's gonna be one turn to get it out.
Okay, so Cryptic Command mana up for Sammy.
I was gonna actually just get rid of
We know he's got a pair of Cryptic Command
I needed that.
along with a Johnny Vengeant and a Spell Snare and a Path to Exile in his hand.
That's what I needed. Get him in the game again, so he's like that.
I don't know. Whenever I play, or whenever I look at these affinity decks, I feel like I'm playing like
Yeah,
a limited deck, attacking for 2
Yeah.
with these normal like 3 mana 2/2s. And sure, every once in a while you can like kind of combo kill them with Blinkmoth Nexus.
Or you get a really like aggressive Steel Overseer draw.
Yeah.
Needs more shrapnel blast.
I like Shrapnel Blast. Makes things exciting.
Yeah. Okay, Cryptic Command on the Thoughtcast.
Tapping your guy, countering Thoughtcast.
Should I leave this with you or take it out? I'll take it.
And poison you.
Head that way, sure. I'm just going to head up to it.
Right, Sammy is already at 13.
Land it. Land it off.
And Wrath drawn for Sammy.
208 air.
You think he's going to snap that off right here?
No card?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
attack
again,
first. Yeah. Wrath of God.
and Wrath, of course, says can't be regenerated. So Welding Jar doesn't help you
Yeah,
there.
it's actually important.
Yeah.
Top pick after top pick.
No Day of Judgment, that Wrath of God.
So sick of those
And maybe that's why he's running it over some amount of Supreme Verdicts, right? Supreme Verdict, they can be regenerated, so.
Top pick of Cryptic Command. I think he won last week. Yeah. We'll kill him the next turn. I won't get more.
You're sitting at 2 losses right now?
2 losses.
Still fine.
I know.
So good shape.
I know. Better than most.
But John still has creatures in the form of these nexuses, right?
Nexuses, yes.
Yeah.
I always want to say Nexi because you like saying, you like the I sound, but it is, yeah.
Somebody tried to correct me at work
Yeah.
about that, because the device is named Nexus, right? So.
There's a cranial plating.
Johnny Vengeance for Sammy. He's gonna probably +1 to keep one of the nexuses down. Yeah, it's not exactly Tamio's ability.
Right. The creature has to be tapped for it to.
Tamio taps it and then it can't be untapped during its controller's next move tap step. But John will just activate his other Nexus, equip it with Cranial Plating, attack him for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage.
Yep.
I guess Cranial Plating is an exciting part about Affinity. Like,
Yes.
That's the one saving grace. But Path to Exile takes out the Nexus. This seems like it's very, very close to being locked up for Sammy.
Yeah. Well, he's losing. I mean, he's gonna go get another basic land, but he loses a big weapon, and his other weapon's gonna be locked down.
Yeah. And has 2 counters to back him up. A Cryptic Command and a Tokeman-Stern, if any funny business goes on.
No land for John Stern there.
He just didn't get a land?
No.
What?
Is he out?
Did he forget?
I don't know. He didn't get one.
Weird.
I don't know how many islands they play.
It's got to be more than one, right?
I mean, all signs point to
Yeah, okay.
one.
Oh, Stony Silence, is that good?
Did he just play Stony Silence? Oh.
With Cryptic backup? Interestingly enough, if a Johnny Vengeance ultimates and Armageddon's only John Stern, that Darksteel Citadel will stay around. And he can regenerate the Inkmoth Nexus, right?
Double Darksteel Citadel. Yeah, we might be just getting to the point where he just helixes him out.
Yeah. The alternate of Johnny Ultimate.
He's like, yep, let's go.
So Tectonic Edge is going to playing that 4th land was the kicker there.
Right, so yeah, apparently he didn't get the land to not turn on the Tectonic Edge.
And then he played a land anyway.
Sure.
And he didn't want to save his Inkmoth Nexus there. I guess Sammy has the second tectonic edge anyway, but... Oh, he can't because of Stony Silence. What am I saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's caught in a crossfire of like multiple snipers. All armed with silver bullets.
Helix here from Johnny Vengeant, -2 ability.
Yeah, it's the second time he's done that to him.
And a Helix in Sammy's hand, so... Might just finish him off helixing. John here just sitting, like doing nothing.
Yeah.
Unable to do anything.
Looking for an excuse to concede.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on, cast 2 Sphinx's Revelations or something.
Play like a Celestial Colonnade. What answers do the Affinity decks have to cards like Stony Silence?
I mean, a lot of times they'll play cards like Echoing Truth.
I know that's common in the egg stacks, right? But
It's on 3, right?
okay, another Helix. So John's at 7. Draws for his turn, casts.
Thought cast.
I guess. Oh, Vault Scourge. They'll put him down to 6, which is actually really bad for him. That's another Helix.
Yeah, in fact, he can just Helix him. And then at the end of the turn, Cryptic Command and bounce his...
A Johnny.
Well, yeah.
There's the hand. Sammy Tokeman defeats John
And that
Stern.
shows him that's what he was going to do.
2 games to 0, advances to 12-2, going into the final round of Grand Prix San Diego. Perhaps he can draw in.